Hey everyone, I wanted to apologize to Kelly Slater, first and foremost. So I wrote him this song, just to show how serious I am. Here we go. A white wetsuit is what Slater wears, and his bald head he bears. But I don't care that he may not have hair. There's no reason to make fun of his style, 'cause we all know Kelly is the man of our day. 'Cause he's got the moves and the speed, and he's master of all that we heed. From the ways too small, too steep, Kelly always managed to complete. So I'm sorry for my words and my wrong thoughts. No more jokes, I promise to you. Whoa, dude.
What is this? It's just a costume?
No, I shed my body every couple of months.
You shed your legs?
Yeah, I shed my legs. A new set will grow within a couple weeks.
I hate that white wetsuit.
Hey, how's it? You know the rules.
That was sweet. I could kind of hear your song. That was beautiful.
For Kelly.
Yeah, that was sweet.
Yeah, I just wanted to make peace, you know?
Wow.
We just love him so much.
We look up to him. He's a Florida man, dude. He was the original Florida man. Florida guy.
He's like the closest thing we'll get to like a Buddha.
It's like a modern toned Buddha.
Modern fit Buddha.
Yeah. All right, let's stop talking about Kelly. This is a topic. I grew up skimboarding. Everyone loves skimboarding. Everyone respects skimboarders, and I used to love it. Are skimboarders respected in the surf culture?
They're kind of like the rollerbladers.
The rollerbladers of surf culture. I respect them. They're getting tubed.
I would say soft toppers are the rollerbladers.
Yeah. That's a good t-shirt.
Skimboarders are like actually pretty gnarly. And boogie boarders.
Yeah.
Like the boogie boarders in Hawaii.
Dude.
They're crazy. And then the skimboarders now, like...
They're basically surfing.
Yeah, the couple of guys are like dropping in on waves. And
Right.
I think the skimboarders now are the ones on Instagram doing good.
Yeah. The videos are fun to watch. They do this sideways thing and they,
Yeah.
and they go out like 100 feet. And I'm like, just put fins on it and surf.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we're back for some Q&A. Okay, Sterling, what is your morning routine like?
My morning routine?
Yeah, that's kind of personal.
That's okay. Well, I sleep naked.
Naked?
And I
Do you really sleep naked?
Mm-hmm. I can't sleep with clothes on.
You know why I never want to sleep naked?
Why?
Because, like, what if someone breaks in and you have to wrestle someone naked?
They'd probably be more scared.
That's true.
My morning routine, I wake up naked.
On purpose. Naked.
I wake up naked, and I immediately have to clean my junk. You know what I mean?
No?
You know how they clean bowling balls?
Mm-hmm.
Those machines?
Yeah.
I've got one of those.
Get ready for the ultimate bowling ball cleaning experience. The Sweatbox steam system will begin to extract unwanted oil from your ball.
I clean my junk with that.
Cool. Where do you get the machine? Amazon?
I got it from
Oh, Sky Mall.
Sky Mall. And then I go to the fridge, and I immediately start anal chugging green tea.
No way.
Yeah.
Does it hurt?
No, it's great.
Is it a device or you just bend over?
Well, I kind of have
Oh, no.
like,
Cockroach?
and I just, and of course, you know, we talked about this before, but it just goes straight to the organs.
Oh, yeah. Past the taste buds.
I don't eat anything orally, honestly.
Really?
Everything anal.
Hmm.
It's just better.
Well, like we said before, it goes past the taste buds. You don't get addicted.
No addictions at all.
Interesting.
Just a lot of diarrhea.
As a centaur, is it easier to go backside or front side? Backside.
As a centaur, is it easier going backside or front side? Well, technically on both sides. Because I'm
True.
parallel stance.
Right.
So, myth busted.
Busted.
Rags to Richos asks, time travel, 3-hour surf sesh. What year are you going? Where to and who you bringing?
Can I bring my boards?
You have all your boards. You can time travel anywhere you want for a 3-hour surf session. What year are you going? Where are you going? And who are you bringing? You can bring one other person with you.
Oh, I can bring one other person.
Yeah.
I'd bring you.
No.
You don't want to come?
Bring
Kelly?
Yeah, bring Kelly. No, because then he would just take over. Who could you
move? I would probably want to go.
bring? Occy.
Ooh, that'd be good.
So you'd bring Occy.
I would bring Occy, and I'd probably go back to like the 70s G-Land days when they found that wave in Indonesia.
This place, which is just across the strait, was called Garajigan. But to have a little code word, they called it G-Land.
Jerry Lopez found like the longest left ever. And they like boated and set up like tree houses. They had to be in trees because the tigers would eat them.
Shut up.
And Jerry like stayed by himself, and he just would meditate all day and surf all day and by himself. So it'd be pretty sick. Like,
so you'd go back to the 1970s, Indonesia with Occy.
Me and Occy.
Dude, Occy dies from a tiger.
Yeah, I would when they first started pipe.
Oh yeah.
And if I could bring like my board now,
you bring a foil.
No one would be out.
You bring a foil board. I thought it'd be funny if you went like back into the 1770s. And you're out like somewhere weird and just surfing. Everyone's like, "What the? He's a witch."
It'd be sick to go back to the like ancient Hawaiian days.
Yeah.
With a normal board.
Dude,
they'd be like, they would think I'm a god.
Oh, for sure.
Like the Duke statue, that would have been me.
I know. Good question. Please don't. All right.
I will bring these back to you, Italo. He won the Olympics in these.
I know.
Someone offered me $2,000.
Really? Are you gonna do it?
It's the first bid. If I make 10 grand, I'll sell it for 10 grand.
So they're on eBay right now. You can go bid, and he said he would sell them for 10 grand.
But if I don't get 10 grand, I'll give them back.
Will Italo buy them back? Okay, so Scuba Goody says he saw a guy wearing sweatpants get totally pitted at Nazare yesterday. Was that you? Were you in Nazare yesterday?
I was.
You were? Are these the pants?
Yep. That's why they're so dirty right now.
When you come into Jack's Beach, brah, need to puka power with you.
Wow.
Or they need the puka power.
Nice. Puka power. I'm just going to go across the country and surf with men.
What drives you as a world champion surfer? Taft Spams asks.
What drives me?
What drives you as a world champion surfer? You usually take this van. That's a driving joke.
That was good. Yeah, we usually take the van.
All right, next. So next week, guys, ask us some more questions, but, get creative. I like the time travel one. That was good. Yeah, dude, if I could time travel and go back at any time, I would want to go back, like, super far back and just, they would think I was, like, a friggin' genius.
Yeah, I would want to go back. Just probably Hawaii before anyone was even surfing.
But then...
Think about all the waves would be empty.
Where would you get wax?
Bring the wax.
You wouldn't have any photo.
I get 3 hours.
Occy has to film you because
he's got a GoPro in his mouth, but his underbite makes it go into his face.
His underbite's an amazing new angle no one's gotten in surfing.
Like we go to look at the footage and we're like, oh no,
it's just his nose. You're like, Occy, I told you.
You blew it.
Oh, we had 3 hours of time travel. Occy would be fun to go anywhere with.
I remember me and him, we went to the Orlando trade show. He had rollerblades on.
No way.
And I had an electric scooter or something. And we were just like going through the crowd. He's like looking back at me. He's like,
why were you doing this?
Why?
Yeah, why?
Because we could. Occy's like a god in a surf trade show. So he was just like flying by. People are like, oh. And then I'm like with the scooter, like.
You just smacking people?
We're just seeing like how fast we could go through everything.
What'd you eat for dinner last night?
Pizza.
Pizza? What's your favorite kind of pizza?
Oyster.
Oyster pizza?
Oyster and scallops.
Dang. Is it like crunchy?
It's good. I like seafood pizza. Do you know why?
Why?
I was the first person to ever order pizza surfing.
Like just sitting out in the water? That's not that big a deal.
I was sponsored by Verizon.
Yeah.
And I went down to Mexico and they gave me a phone, the first water phone, a waterproof phone.
Right. Right.
They gave me the first waterproof phone and it was crazy. I was in Mexico and I could call anywhere in the world.
Oh, it was like a satellite.
I was like, what if I ordered a pizza in the barrel in Mexico?
Sick.
So I called the farthest Pizza Hut I could call. It was like in Europe or something. Like the only Pizza Hut in Europe. So before the wave was coming, I like...
Hi, can I get a large pizza? Cheese, pepperoni, maybe some sausage.
The guy got on the phone, and I'm like, I was on this like long run. I'm
Bonjour.
Like, oh.
Did it show up?
Like, where are you?
Bonjour.
Mexico. That video went super viral, and that's how I got sponsored by Verizon.
Oh, I thought that was while you were sponsored by Verizon.
No, that's how I got sponsored by Verizon.
Oh.
That video went super viral, and they were like, they loved me, and they're like, let's put this guy in the new Droid commercial. Droid. They didn't want to pay me, and they're like, we'll put your name, and we'll put your website. And they showed me like the numbers, how many... The commercial was going to show like 1 billion times.
Right. I remember seeing it all the time.
It was seriously all day long.
Reach the farthest expanses of its universe, deepest depths of its oceans, without getting as much as a grain of sand in your shorts? Droid does. Wave shredding web speed. In a world that doesn't, Droid does.
You're like going like this.
So I was like, I'm going to be the most famous server ever.
Right.
And so when the commercial came out, they put pipeline server.
That's it?
They went, originally it said Sterling Spencer Pinch My Salt .tv, and they changed it to pipeline surfer. So I made a stink about it, and they paid me.
Who are some pro surfers you traveled with?
Well, one of my favorite dudes is Taylor Knox.
Yeah.
And like, he was known for being like the most serious surfer on planet Earth. And I went to Australia with him, and like on the way there, he was just like so funny and nice and
carefree,
like, kind of nerdy like me, you know.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, why are people saying Taylor Knox is like this? I didn't get it.
You mean like super focused, super like?
He wasn't. He was so funny and.
But people said he was.
Yeah, they said he was like really intense, and so like, I was like, this guy is amazing. So the wave is called Lennox Head in Australia, and you have to go down this big cliff, and there's like rattlesnakes everywhere. But I remember we were in the car, and I like grabbed my board and I looked back and he's gone. He already like went. I was like, whoa, that's weird. So I'm like, wait for me. And I finally get down there, and he's got this giant medicine ball. You know, the ones you work out with?
He pumped one up somehow?
It was like the big ones. And he was doing his stretches with it. He's like...
What the
heck? I was trying to talk to him and stuff.
Taylor.
And it's like he didn't hear me anymore.
Dang.
So I was like, that's kind of weird. So like, I'm just going to paddle out. You jump off these rocks. And like, when I'm going to jump, he like jumps over me. He's like, and like blocks me and like kicks in my face. I'm like, whoa, dude. Like, so I finally get out, and he's just staring at the ocean. And I'm like trying to talk to him. Like, he doesn't even see me, or like, he's just like, So I'm like, I'm just going to go down the beach a little bit. So the way Lennox Head breaks, it's like a point break, but they're real peaky. So I went down to the second peak. So I see him like taking off, and I'm so far down, there's no way he could get to me. But I hear this, hey! And I just like, I'm like, he can't get to me. So I'm like going, I'm like, woo! And I keep hearing this, hey! Hey! And then all of a sudden, the wave is over. There's no more wave anymore.
Right.
And he pumped so hard to get me. He's like, I'm going to get him. He's like, ah! He finally gets to me. I like look back. I'm like, huh? And he's like, I'm working here. And he goes to do a cover. He's like, ah! And he lost all his speed, so he just throws his board as hard as he could. And it goes, Zoom. I'm like, whoa, dude. What's going on? And then he like grabbed his board and just like paddled it back out.
So wait, and you dropped in on him kind of, but from far, far away.
I was 100 yards.
Like there's
away.
probably like a certain amount of feet that it counts not being a drop in
like
anymore.
if he just did one turn, the wave would have been gone. But he saw me, and he was like, "This guy will not mess my wave up." So he was just like, "Oh, oh!" And so he went so far out of his way to get to me, the wave was gone. And then he didn't know what to do, but he still wanted to prove himself, and he's just like, "Ah!" And he just chucked his board. Just
Dang.
So then I was paddling out. I was like, that is hilarious. So we get back. We were staying in Byron Bay, and we get back. We all go to the bar. It was a reef trip.
Yeah.
And so Mick Fanning's there. Like, I remember Paul Fisher was there.
Ooh.
And I start telling the story. It was like Taylor didn't even knew it happened.
He's like, what?
He was listening. He's like, huh? What happened?
I did that?
And I told all the guys, I'm like, I'm working here. And the rest of the trip, all day long, everyone's like, I'm working here.
That is awesome.
So now Taylor, he always messages me like,
Okay.
I'm working here.
So he's homies with you. He's not ticked off.
Oh, he thought it was hilarious.
That is amazing.
It's like he didn't even know.
He had blacked out. That is so funny.
A lot of the 90s pros,
Yeah.
they had to work so hard to get where they were.
Right.
It's like my generation, we had it so much easier.
Yeah.
Like his generation, it was like fighting. You had to fight your way to the top.
I'm working here.
So they're way less sensitive.
Right.
Like,
you seen that video where it says like a 80s person walks into and then it's, let's show that clip.
that's why I get along really good with like older surfers, and Australian surfers especially.
Do you think it was the way your dad raised you too? It was kind of like tough.
Yeah, I started surfing since I was 4.
Right.
So that's 1992.
Yeah.
Or 90.
Right.
So I started surfing in 1990, and yeah, I grew up. My dad was tough as nails. My dad never gave me a wave my whole life.
Dude.
He did not like, here, let me show you.
He was like, later,
He did the same thing. You're
like, I'm working here.
I had to like fight. By the time I was 13, I was already like a 30-year pro.
30-year surfer.
Yeah, just like, I remember going to like the expos back in the day, and like, dude, it was like the craziest party. Like they had Reef Girls. They were just in their thongs.
Yeah.
And guys would just be drinking beers, and they're like, yeah, like pouring me.
It was like the Wild West back then.
I remember it was just like when you're a kid, you didn't see any girls, and all of a sudden there was girls in thongs at the reef booth, and you're like,
what?
Why is my wiener feel?
Yeah, what am I feeling? Yeah, do they still do those reef things?
I think it's like illegal now.
Well, to me, it's like, objectifying the women thing. And I remember Surfer Mags, like, I can't remember where I was, but they'd always rip out the reef ads. It might have been Interlight.
It was my dad.
Your dad would rip them out and save them?
No, my dad. So I grew up super Christian, as you know.
Yeah.
And my dad would put stickers over the butts on the reef.
Interlight stickers.
And the new mag would come out, and you'd be like, oh, let's see the new butt. And you go to look at a sticker, you're like, oh, you already got to it.
Let's see this issue's butt.
Me and my brother would be like, oh.
And it'd be...
It's like, oh, he got to
Would it be like a Christian verse or something?
Sometimes we would think he didn't get the magazine yet. And we're like, ooh.
That is such a good story.
One of my first... I got a reef poster of myself.
Uh-huh.
And it came with a girl in her butt. And my parents were like, didn't know what to do.
Because it's like, crap, Sterling's on it.
It's like, yeah, I was on it. They couldn't put like a giant sticker over it. So I put it up on my wall. I'm like, yes.
I get to look at it.
We didn't have the internet.
No.
You didn't see girls.
Nope.
So if you did see one, you're like,
There's a girl.
but Taylor Knox, I love you.
How old is Taylor, you think?
What's great about Taylor, it's like he's just such a surf dog. So much respect. Just true to surfing, you know?
What I think's cool about the way you were raised is you're such a surf core guy, but you've used humor and, you know, just art. Like, you're good at creating films and stuff like that. So a lot of people don't have that, like, double-sided sword. Like, core surfing, but also, like, an artist.
I know a lot of people, when they meet me, they think like I'm a silly clown or something.
Yeah, like Chris Farley.
And then, like, they go surf with me, and they're like, he's, like, a serious...
He hasn't said one word.
I've got a lot of my dad in me when I surf. Like, it's like my martial arts. I get in the zone.
One of the coolest things that I ever thought happened with you in your career, Jordan Peterson, suck on this. You had some shoes made.
Pinch My Salt shoes.
These are some real Pinch My Salt Reef shoes.
Some classics.
Yeah, that Sterling had made from Reef. You were able to buy that condo in the Bahamas on this, right? You always do that, and it's so out of focus. That doesn't do anything. It says Centaur blog, pinchmysalt.tv, but these are
the original Pinch My Salt.
I think we should make some Pinch My Salt merch. Do you think people would buy it?
Will you guys?
I remember surfing. I was in California with me and Bree, my wife. We were paddling out, and Rob and you were out there already.
He touched Bree's butt.
It was my wife's birthday. We were at Rob Machado's house staying. This is when we were filming with Bob Saget. And it was the coolest. Bree's favorite surfer growing up was Rob Machado. So we're going surfing. It's Bree's birthday. She's on one of Rob's boards. And Bree's like, she was catching some waves, but there's one bigger wave came through, and Rob put his hand on my wife's butt.
He grabbed her bum.
Yeah, and just went, and that was his birthday gift to her.
It was like the best wave of her life.
Yeah, and she rode like a really nice ride.
She still has the handprint.
Yeah.
She like tattooed.
Yeah, and I actually still have some of Rob's hair. Can we talk about that?
Dude.
So listen to this, guys.
It's in your wallet?
It's my wallet. There's this skit where Sterling and Rob are on their porch being silly, and Rob had just got a haircut. I think his wife had just cut his hair on the porch, and we were leaving the next day, and I thought it'd be so funny to hide some of his hair in my wallet and try to pay for something with his hair. And you, me, and Bree were driving somewhere, and I pulled out of my wallet, I swear. Is this still there? Yeah. This is Rob Machado's hair that I stole from his porch, and it's just kind of a joke now, okay? I'm not that weird. That is Rob Machado's hair.
It smells like him.
Yeah.
It still smells like him.
Yeah. But I tried to pay for something at the airport, and I got a good laugh. Here you go. The joke was, here you go.
Here you go.
There you go. You guys are going to forever think I'm crazy, but this is Rob Machado's hair.
Wow.
Should we staple it? Like, it's getting low. I hand out pieces of it. I was at some sort of...
For you?
I was at this surf thing, and kids were coming up to me asking for pieces of Rob's hair, and I would be like... So everywhere I go, I have a little bit of Rob with me.
We can clone Rob.
Yeah. I always thought if I murdered somebody and I needed to plant Rob's DNA, I'd just stick it on the body.
That's a good idea. Rob Machado has killed...
Rob was at a Navarre Arby's.
At an Arby's buffet.
You kind of went through a phase when you didn't want to surf and you just wanted to play music. Remember that? Kind of, we talked about it a little bit in the last episode.
Before I got too big.
You kind of got into ska music, and you were hanging out with that ska band with the trumpet. Remember that?
Sublime.
But it was funny because you know how like roadies work? They like if you're a drummer, you need someone to take your drums, take your guitars.
Yeah, I would do everything.
Well, what was funny about it is you were just the trumpet guy, and there wasn't much to do.
The Trumpies rodeo.
Yeah, and all you'd had to do is bring his trumpet.
It was a good gig.
I know, it didn't seem like much work.
Why do they keep the trumpet pipes tight?
How could they justify paying you as a trumpet roadie?
It's just a lot of maintenance.
On the trumpet?
Yeah, like keeping all the holes tight.
You
know.
Like you would lube it up and like...
Yeah.
You'd like...
Well, I would play it nonstop.
To keep
the
it.
pipes going. So back in the early O's, I was at this bar. Older woman. She sends me a shot across from the bar.
Ooh.
And she was like super intimidating. I was like,
How old are you?
I was probably like 21.
Okay.
So I didn't even drink, and I like had to do it. I was like, and I drank it, and all of a sudden she's like right next to me. And I'm like, so I'm like, I don't know what to say to her. So I start talking about how good I am at yoga to her, and she's like, "Oh, really? Well, I'm going to a yoga class tomorrow. You should come." I was like, "Yeah." I'm like all buttered up from the shot. I'm like, "Yeah, let's do it."
Talking a big yoga game.
So like that shot made me super hungover.
One shot?
I've never really drank. So I wake up the next day, I'm like, oh, like the worst headache. So I meet her at like a Jamba Juice, I remember. And like she's like 10 years older, and I'm like super scared.
Right.
You know, like she's like good at life, and I'm like scared of everything.
Right.
Like I don't even know how to like use my credit card yet. I'm like, So she like I remember she comes and picks me up in her like little car, and she's all yogaed up.
Oh, I thought you meant she picked you up.
We get into the yoga, and she's like, "This is Bikram yoga." And I'm like, "What's that?" And do you know what Bikram yoga is?
No.
It's the hardest yoga you can do.
They turn up the heat.
To like 130 something.
Gross.
And I'm hungover. So I get in there, and I'm like, "God." There's no windows. I'm like, and there's all these old ladies. So I'm like, I'm hungover, but I'm about to crush these ladies.
Right. You think I got this.
Like, I'm about to crush.
Yeah.
So we start, and you do these, you hold your arms up forever. I remember halfway through, I could barely, I'm like,
Arm circles.
I couldn't hold it anymore. And I'm looking over at her, and she's killing it. And all these old ladies are like, and I'm like, so I'm like super dehydrated. I'm like, and Bikram teachers are known for being like kind of mean.
Ooh.
Like they want you to keep with it.
Intense.
So she starts picking on me, and she's like, "Let's get those arms moving a little bit more." I'm like, so then these classes are like 120 minutes.
What?
It's like the longest yoga you could do.
Did you know that before you went in?
No. So 30 minutes in, I'm about to die. I can't breathe. I'm like, but I'm trying to not look like an idiot for this lady.
You're trying to impress her.
Yeah, I'm trying to impress her. And like, I get to a point, I'm like, I'm going to pass out.
No way.
So I run to the bathroom. And I get in the bathroom, and some reason it's like an airplane bathroom. Like I get in, it's so tight. And there was this little window, and I like, and this wind came in. I'm like, just trying to breathe. And I'm like, so I walk back out, and the lady's so mad. She's like, she's so mad I went to the bathroom. I put a bunch of water on me. I'm like, God. And so I try to get back to him, like, and then literally, she's like, pick it up, come on. She's like standing over me. She's like, come on, y'all, Wes. And I'm like, and all these old ladies are just still doing it. And I'm like, and then finally, I'm so tired. I just lay on my back, and I wake up. They carried me out into the street.
No,
because they thought I was like messed up. So I wake up with all these old ladies looking down on me. I'm like, where am I? And my date, she was super nice. She's like, oh my gosh, are you okay?
That is so embarrassing.
She like, I put my arm around, and she like walked me to the car. I'm like, and all the ladies like, I hope you're okay. I remember she drove me back. I remember just going in and out, like, oh, where am I?
30-minute workout.
I remember I woke up with the best sleep of my entire life. A lot of people don't know that I was the first. I'm serious.
What?
I was the first to serve in a thong or Brazilian bikini.
Is there footage?
Everyone gives Alana Blanchard the credit, but we were in Brazil once, and I remember I was like shredding in my thong. And then she was like, whoa, what are you doing? And I was like, it's so much easier.
You can feel things
like
better.
I would Vaseline my stuff up.
Yeah.
And I'd be like so much faster. Like,
it didn't make you slip off the board?
It did. But
once you got up.
faster. But I would do the gnarliest bottom turns. It was like, And the magazines, like, they took notice.
Hmm.
They were like, whoa,
Who's
this guy's got balls.
Whose thong did you borrow?
Well, my mom would knit them.
Oh.
My mom would knit the thongs together, like homemade knitted thongs. And Alana Blanchard was the first to take notice.
Really?
And she started wearing them too, and her career just blew up.
Dang.
And she hasn't thanked me.
Well, didn't you try to give her a flyer to your surf school?
I started the thongs.
Right.
And then I was trying to tell her there's other, like, thongs she could wear to, like, go even faster.
Right.
She just didn't like it, and she just walked away.
When do you think we're going to get a sponsor?
When is Crocs going to freaking...
Dude, if Crocs sponsored this podcast...
They need to pony up the dough.
Yeah, dude, I need to get rid of my popcorn ceilings. That'd be nice to have a little money to scrape the popcorn ceilings off. You think popcorn ceilings will ever come back like hardwood floors came back? I made this joke, like, it was like, oh, this is the original hardwood floor. Like, will you walk into a home and be like, this is the original popcorn? And people are like, wow,
mold.
I don't know. You never know. Things come back around. What in the surf world? What's coming back around? Anything that's like that was cool back in the day that people are like, that's lame.
I think like lower back tattoos.
They're coming back.
Yeah.
I think you're right. Actually, they're back into the circle. People love it.
Shane Dorn's got a good lower back tattoo. David Malcolm has the best lower back tattoo.
Dude.
Our boy Dave.
Dave is the man. Do you remember what it is? I can't remember right now.
It's a ace of spades with like perfect right and left peeling off.
Dang, it's hot. Remember you used to crowd surf? You tried to get crowd surfing famous.
Well, yeah, I would go to festivals and just crowd surf.
Right.
And like see how inverted I could get.
Right.
Because people would get so jacked up on like drugs.
Yeah, and you used to tour with Skrillex.
Right.
Yeah. And yeah, you would be out there at the festivals just like
My biggest win was at Foo Fighters. I won the Foo Fighters Invitational. Yeah, when I would compete at festivals, like I would rack up so many points. Like they had a wave pool event. I won that, and then
you almost died.
And I had to be rescued.
Well, you were drowning and you just yelled at me, "Keep filming!"
Yeah, because I didn't want to lose points.
Well, it was a really lame wave pool. You had to like jump in like a skimboard.
It was there. You had to make your own.
The technology
speed.
wasn't. Kelly hadn't done it yet.
The technology wasn't there yet.
Yeah, you had to. You had to jump on the board.
It was just a pole.
It was just a pool. Do you want to just close us out with your Nelly Furtado song?
Kelly Furtado.
Kelly Furtado.
Well, thank you for coming now. It's time for us to go home. Just make sure you got my horse butt tight. The horse butt will ride at night.
How's it? Thank you for watching Pinch My Salt, the hit podcast of the world's #1 surfer, Sterling Spencer. You know the rules. Subscribe and tickle that like button. Pinch My Salt.